New photos from Nevada OSHA showing what they are calling a muck puddle found in the Hyperloop under the Strip. The boring company now facing several accusations in a new complaint. OSHA claims that approximately 15 to 20 employees were burned by accelerant chemicals while connecting and reconnecting hoses. The complaint says the chemical mixture, which contains cement, soaked through employees' clothing, resulting in skin rashes and chemical burns. OSHA also found that the boring company did not provide employees with uniforms, eye or face protection. Now, in the complaint, OSHA said a spike in injuries is visible over the past 2 months. The boring company is facing $112,000 in fines over 8 violations. The company is contesting these claims, though a hearing date has not yet been set.